Good morning. Today we're going to be checking out the Manitou Cliff Dwellings. I've been wanting to come here for a little bit. Today's the day though, so let's do this. Located about 5 miles outside of Colorado Springs in Manitou Springs. This has got about 40 rooms built into the side of a cliff. It wasn't always here. It was actually transported here in about 1905. It's kind of crazy that they could take all of this structure, pack it up, and then ship it here. A lot of it was actually shipped on the railroad, and it's just crazy to me that they could even move something like this. So they didn't even actually start to move this until 1904 and didn't complete it until 1907. I mean, really think about that. Think about how long ago that was and think about the technology they had to move this here. So they were actually shipped to Colorado Springs from the railroad, but once they got to Colorado Springs, they had to be moved here by horseback. So once it got here, it was actually put together with concrete mortar. And then once it was reassembled, they opened it to the public in 1907. And then ever since 1907, this place has been open to the public for anybody to come in and walk around however they want to. Admission is $10.50, and they actually sell season passes for $10 more than that. So for $20.50, you can actually get a season pass. Come here whenever you want. Okay, so I'm editing this video and I'm realizing I never point out the fact that this is a tourist trap, okay? This is not an actual village that was moved from one area to another. This was a collapsed village that they took the rocks from, shipped it, and then built it up into this replica village that is there now. I just felt like I needed to put that in because I'm editing this video right now and I'm realizing I didn't really ever do a very good job of explaining that. It is a tourist trap, and there is a large debate on whether it's real or fake. So I just thought I'd throw that in there. It's up to you to decide how you feel about it. It's pretty polarizing that way. So all right, back to the video. So this place is not quite as big as I thought it was going to be, but there is a lot of cool stuff here, like this teepee here. Let's go inside it. Wow. It's pretty dark in here, but I'm 6'1", and there's a lot of space up there. That's pretty cool. And I would imagine the top's cut out so that you can light a fire in here and not completely choke yourself out. So there's actually a cafe here as well, which is pretty cool. And then I keep seeing this, Anasazi, the Ancient Ones. I'm not sure why they're calling them the Ancient Ones, but I dig it. It makes it sound like it's something out of Star Wars. And there's actually a museum here too. We'll get to that. And just in case you were wondering, we are at a pretty high altitude here, so be sure you stay hydrated. I've seen quite a few people come up to this elevation and think, elevation sickness isn't a real thing. But I gotta tell you, it is very much a real thing. So you gotta watch it. And I'm not sure if you can hear it, but they've got some pretty amazing music playing over here too. So as you walk up to the dwellings, this is the first house. It says that this is a 4-person, 4-room home. The outer wall actually collapsed causing the floor of the second story to collapse also. So we're only seeing the first floor here. So as we walk in, we gotta duck our head here. Like I said, I'm 6'1", so those are a little low. So as I walk through here, there's just all sorts of crazy little tunnels and hallways and hidden little rooms, and it's very small, having to duck a lot, but still very cool. Oh, cool, they had electricity. Okay, so this is actually a storage bin, and it says here that this is actually made out of sandstone. They use stuff like this to actually hold their food, keep it nice and cool, and keep it a little bit fresh, a little bit longer. And then of course, to keep the rats and weevils away from your food that you took all season to grow. I don't know what that is, but it's really creeping me out. So this room here, as you can see, I gotta say, it's probably, what, like 11, 12 feet tall? It's kind of crazy how big it is in here. They've put some lights in here, obviously, just so people can see, but it's just crazy how all of this is actually like carved into this. So right down here, we have what's known as a Kiva. I hope I'm saying that correctly. It says this circular pit was once a sacred Kiva. It was used by tribal men as a ceremonial chamber. In its day, this pit was covered in a roof made of cribbed timbers, which was covered with cedar strips and ultimately clay. The roof had a square-shaped entrance in its center. Men could enter using a ladder which crossed the sacred smoke coming up from the fire pit. So if you actually look, there's actually a small hole right past the deflector rock, and it says that that hole behind the fire pit is what's known as a sipapu, a symbolic hole or passageway for a spirit of a person to enter and exit at birth or death. And that's one of the coolest things I've ever heard. You know, admittedly, I do not know enough about Native American culture, and coming to stuff like this, I really enjoy doing stuff like this. So this is what's known as a blockhouse. This is actually a two-family home, and it was actually 2 stories. Crazy. And this is one of the more impressive things I think that's here, in my opinion. This is actually just a stone tower, but I'm kind of really impressed with how it's put together. Skinny thoughts, very, very skinny thoughts. I got this. You got this. No problem. I think I'm much taller than the Anasazi were. So it says in here, this little altar right here, it says it's actually believed this may have been used in ceremonies for the dead, in preparation of the burials. So, I gotta touch it, right? I can't come in here and not touch it. I hope I'm allowed to do this. Oh, creepy. All right, so they got this balcony here. You know, I don't know how old the wood is or anything, or what's put here and what isn't, but that is pretty cool. But I have to climb it, right? That's the thing I have to do. Oh man, the view from up here. Look at this. Look, I know I'm 6'1", but itty bitty living spaces. Right? Oh. There's a sign in there. I can't read it. Oh, I want to climb that so bad. There's a ladder in there too. How do I get in there? I don't know if I'm allowed to do that. I better not, just in case. Don't fall. Do not fall. I'm good. I'm good. So like I mentioned before, there's actually a museum here as well. And apparently a pretty big gift shop. So let's go check that out. So, short little walk down these stairs. There's also a wheelchair accessible ramp right over here. And just some awesome views the whole way down as well. So it says the oldest part of this pueblo was built in 1898. Native Americans occupied it until 1984. Wow. And this is where the gift shop is. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I just hit my head on this door. And in here they have everything from wine to wallets to necklaces. Oh wow. And apparently part of this museum is built into the rock. Can I just go in here? Yeah. Yeah? Okay, cool. Thank you. And in the museum they have all sorts of bowls and tools and axes, arrowheads, spearheads. It's very dark in here. I'm doing my best to not have this footage come out super terrible, but look at how creepy this is. Now, I do not think these are real. I think that they are, I think that they're fake, but that does not stop them from being just super creepy. Just gotta be honest, there's not a whole lot that creeps me out more than skulls. I don't know what it is. Okay, so it says right here that in accordance with the Native American Graves Protection and Reparation Act of 1990, all human remains and skulls are replicas. They're not real, but that does not stop them from being really, really unsettling. I know all this is really historically important and stuff like that, but look at this awesome little TV that this is on. This groove tube, I don't know if this is new or old, but this is awesome. And then if you're interested, they have the first 100 years, all of the brochures and postcards from 1907 to 2007. You know, it's kind of hard to wrap my brain around the fact that this has even been around that long. I mean, this is before my grandmother was born. This is pretty cool. So that is pretty impressive. The Pueblo Museum doesn't have quite as much to do with the people that actually built all of the structures and stuff that are here, so I kind of skipped over that a little bit, but it is very cool in there. You can actually definitely learn a lot. I think that's where I'm going to call it for today, guys. So if you like this, make sure you hit that sub button. I've got a lot more like this right on the way. Thank you guys for watching. Now we'll see you guys next time. Mike the Finder out. See ya!